For about the last 14 years that we've been homesteading, we have had livestock.
We are going to be getting rid of almost every animal on this farm.
And in this video, we're going to talk about why.
All right.
This episode of Homesteady is brought to you by Laurel Mountain Soaps. I found Laurel Mountain one day at a farmer's market. I was looking for a deodorant that didn't have aluminum in it, but also wouldn't give me an awful rash in my armpits. All the natural stuff was giving me a rash. I tried Jocelyn's products and I have never looked back. We have used them ever since. They're great stuff. If you head over to laurelmountainsoap.com, you can shop all of Tim and Jocelyn's amazing soaps, deodorants, skincare products. This month you should check out Laurel Mountain's salves. Jocelyn makes a jewelweed salve which can give relief from rashes from poison oak, ivy, and sumac, as well as biting insects. Black drawing salve. If you've never used that, if you get a splinter, you put a little black drawing salve on it and it will pull splinters out of your skin. I've seen it work. Jocelyn makes a dandelion salve that's great for your skin, your muscles, your joints. We're coming out of cold and flu season, but if you got a cough hanging on, you can try their mullein salve, which has organic menthol, eucalyptus, spearmint, peppermint, all designed to open your airways. And if you're dealing with coughs or colds or congestion, check out the link in the description below, learn about Laurel Mountain Soaps, see the discounts that they have, soaps, salves, and more. Check them out at laurelmountainsoaps.com. I'm gonna be loading up on Laurel Mountain Soaps before I head to Alaska, just so I know I have it when I get there. What I'm not going to be loading up before I go to Alaska is most of our animals. Let's talk about that.
Today is Big Barn Clean Out Day, and
so we're going to go through. We're going to go through all
good.
Our stuff. What are we leaving and what are we selling and what are we giving to other people? And we got a lot of work to do, so let's go get work done. For about the last 14 years that we've been homesteading, we have had livestock. That's about to change. Most of you know our big news, but if you're new around here, we just announced recently we're going to be moving from this big family farm to a small off-grid homestead
in Alaska.
I just bought this off-grid cabin in Alaska. This little piece of Alaska is mine. And we have been really going back and forth a lot about what our plan is with livestock and animals, because we're homesteaders, we live off the land, we have chickens and cows and goats and pigs, we've done all those things. We've been planning this big move to our homestead in Alaska for a little while now, and we've been kind of going back and forth, and we knew right away, like, we're gonna have to get rid of some animals because some of them were just not a good fit for what we want to do in Alaska. The first big question for us was the cows. We've been doing dairy for a decade and dairy cows going on 8 years now, and we love the product, we love the farm fresh milk. And at first there was this little like, oh man, let's bring our mini Jerseys, they would do great in Alaska.
And that's actually something we researched years ago when we were thinking about going to Alaska. And I talked to vets there, I talked to other people who had been milking cows in Alaska. And one lady, she'd been milking a cow there for years. And we met her in person when we went there. And I told her, oh, all this stuff we were thinking of doing. And she goes, why would you bring a cow to Alaska? I was like, well, you did it. But she didn't do it anymore because it just, the price of hay there is crazy expensive. And our new cabin, it doesn't really have any grass. So we'd be buying hay year round. One reason cows make so much sense to us, despite all the input, is we have grass here almost 10 months out of the year. We would not have that in Alaska.
We just did a video about goats versus cows. What's the best dairy animal? Cows versus goats. And in a lot of categories, cows were the winner, but there were a few categories where goats were the winner, and This is one of the situations, actually, you'll find in Alaska, a lot more homesteaders have goats for dairy, way less have cows because of that exact reason. There's not a lot of properties with a lot of pasture. If they do have pasture, it's not growing a lot of the year. So goats can do a better job living off the land. And when you have a cow, if you have to feed it hay over the winter, hay is incredibly expensive in Alaska. We got some figures. Small square bales can be $20, $30, which is what we pay for a big round bale. And big round bales in Alaska can be like $200, $300, $400, depending on where you get them.
Here's to say, like, it's not no to cows forever in Alaska even. But we're moving up there. We have to put in so much infrastructure to the cabin. It's just not something we can afford to do right away.
Yeah, right now it's not going to be the right thing.
So right now the cows are gone, right? We were milking, but all the cows have been sold to wonderful new homes where they're happy and adjusting well. But before that happened, we froze milk. Froze so much milk.
Because we were like, to the last day, we want to
be able to have our own milk.
Our own milk, because there's just nothing like raw.
We had a nice dairy locally. Not even raw, but just a nice local dairy who we would buy milk from when the cows were dry. So that was great, but
yeah,
we'll miss our milk.
Yeah, we're going to miss our milk.
That means Luna, Honeybee, Brig, Bumblebee, and their calves have all found new homes.
The ladybug herd. The herd that we've been working on all these years, we had to find homes for them, and we really wanted to make sure they were going to like good homes.
One person who has followed us, I think from pretty much the very beginning of our cow milking journey, Stephanie at Tinstone Cattle Company. We can link to her below, so follow along with Honeybee.
And you may remember, we actually got Brig, our bull, from Stephanie. So she wound up with our sweet little Honeybee, who honestly, Honeybee was my favorite. That cow was an all-star.
Yeah, she did great on the trip. She's milking great for them.
If there was one cow that we would have taken, it would have been Honeybee.
They're really happy with her. And the other ones went out to Bridget at Half and Half Cattle Company.
Where
you can follow along with her too.
Where I hear Luna's enjoying her heated barn.
Yeah, she's being spoiled. I really liked the fact that Luna, Brig, and Bumblebee all stayed together as a group. I thought that would make the adjustment a little easier, and it seems like it has. Brig's got a best friend, a best bull friend.
Wow, yeah. Briggy.
Everybody's happy.
We're gonna take our milk pump out of here. This is one of those things we're gonna save. We're not gonna take it to Alaska, but this is a family farm and you just never know, so we're saving the milk pump. This has been a great tool, fed our family a lot of great farm fresh milk, and we'll just put it in storage. And who knows?
Yeah.
There we go. It was a hard decision, but that was the easiest of the decisions, I think.
Well, because it was very clear cut. There were so many things saying, don't bring the cows, don't bring the cows.
Yeah, there were many reasons not to bring cows to this homestead in Alaska. But what about everybody else? We have built up some really nice flocks and herds here. And this was I think a harder decision for us.
You would have asked me 5 years ago, what animal do you want to stay on your farm? I never would have believed me if I would have said sheep, because sheep have always been such a pain in my butt. But we have such nice sheep now that up till probably last week, I was really thinking like, we should take the sheep, because these girls I got for milk, and hey, that would be great to have in Alaska, is milk from our sheep.
Milk sheep, sheep milk. If you've ever compared, like we've done the comparison of sheep milk and cow milk and camel milk and water buffalo milk, we've tried it all. And sheep milk is actually
delicious.
Like right up there with
Jersey milk.
Good quality cow milk.
Really creamy and fatty and rich.
These two here are dairy, and we thought like how awesome would it be to take these two dairy sheep and and take them up to Alaska. We have the dairy sheep, and then we also have our Nigerian dwarf herd over here of goats, who also, Nigerian dwarfs give really good quality milk. And everything's dual purpose, right? We love lamb, we love goat meat. And so we would have dairy and we would have goat meat, and we could feed them better off the homestead than we could cow. So why not? It's really hard when you have a good quality flock or a good quality herd. Genetics is something that you build up over time. You get animals that are worm resistant and are nice to work with, right? They know you, they follow you, they have good, healthy, good mothers, good feet, good, healthy babies. There is so much value in that as a homesteader. To give that up, let that go is very, very difficult because it's such a valuable thing. We have decided not to bring any sheep or any goats with us, and it's kind of a compilation of reasons again. It's kind of a little bit of everything.
We're bringing you.
The process of getting the animals to Alaska, that's very, very difficult.
Yeah, there's a lot of, as far as moving sheep and goats into Canada, from everything I was reading, it's a lot more complicated than just bringing your dogs or your cats. There's like a lot of testing they want to see that's been done on your flock to make sure they're free from diseases. We don't have any of that.
Yeah.
Because we've never moved them off the farm since they were here as babies, so we have no testing on anybody.
Yeah. So that would be, and that would even affect the process of getting there. You'd have to be waiting at the border, meeting veterinarians at the border, arranging. And I'm sure it's possible. I know people have done it.
People do it.
It's just
there's enough already going on at the border that's like
with all this stuff going on right now, we're like
another thing
to add live animals to it and give another reason to have trouble at the border. There is the ferry. You can take a ferry from Bellingham to Alaska, but
you can take it to, right now this year you can take it to Juneau and Haines, but the cross Gulf, so to mainland Alaska where we're living, it's not running for the next couple years. So that's out. We could, I've seen the videos before, we could fly a couple mini Nigerian dwarfs. Yeah, we could fly them.
You still considering? Fly a couple Nigerian dwarfs out there?
Right, like it's possible to get them there, but we're running into the thing again where we're setting up our new cabin. You don't want to have to get there and set up fencing right away.
Yeah.
I have surgery planned for next year, which means we are going to be leaving our cabin for an unknown amount of time. I'll be having surgery, not knowing how my recovery is going to be, how long it's going to take. It's going to be a lot for him to already have 7 kids. And then to have to take care of more farm animals, it didn't make sense to do.
No. We give this advice a lot. If you're thinking about homesteading and you're getting your property and you're moving out to the country for the first time, we will often tell people like, don't get animals right away because with animals comes fires, right? You're constantly putting out fires. The sheep get out, the goats get out, something in the water breaks and you're hauling buckets. We tell people all the time, don't start with animals. If you're going to move to the country, if you're going to start a homestead, get there, check out your property, be there. We say the best thing you could do is go for a year, spend a full calendar year on your property before getting sheep and getting goats. And I know you're excited to move the country and you want to get the animals, but it's better to spend a little bit of time on your infrastructure, get your fencing all squared away, get your watering system squared away. We're gonna follow that same advice. We're gonna go to this new homestead and kind of get used to living in a new place and see what it's like. And so we've decided the sheep and the goats, even though they're awesome quality animals and we do care about them, we can find them nice homes. The genetics will continue. There'll be such wonderful animals for other people on their homesteads. And it'll give us time to really make sure we're setting up our new homestead right without sheep getting out of the fencing and getting eaten by a bear or, or goats getting out.
Imagine that happening. Huh?
Okay.
This is like funny to me. You're having a hard time in here getting rid of garbage.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Why?
These scrap pieces, things that we designed very specifically for this barn. Like, oh, that was a pig loading ramp. we don't have pigs. We're not taking it to Alaska.
No.
So if it was covered in poop,
It's the
would you take
farmer
the time?
in me.
It's very bootlegged.
Oh, yeah.
So why are you having a hard time? Just pitch it. There's a burn pile. Put it on the burn pile.
That's a good ramp. Good for loading pigs.
But
good lumber. I don't know if I can burn the ramp. I gotta just pull that apart. That's good
no,
lumber.
we cannot take the time to do that though.
It's good lumber. Put it in the scrap pile. No one
There's
wants to
so
see this.
much in our scrap pile. A scrap pile that isn't even ours
That's
anymore.
the best wood in the scrap pile.
But it's not even ours anymore.
Best wood in the scrap pile. I'm putting it in the scrap pile. So our chickens and our guineas, where are they going? Well, because it's a family farm and somebody will be on the family farm, and Lord knows farm fresh eggs for the first time ever, you actually save money having farm fresh eggs and farm fresh chickens. They're gonna stay. We're gonna have farm fresh chickens and farm fresh guinea. Our chickens and our guineas are gonna stay here on the family farm, and they won't even know anything changed.
And yeah, you don't have to worry about leaving them at the farm as much as you would cows or goats.
One other animal we forgot to tell you about. Little Blue, our water buffalo. We weren't bringing a cow to Alaska. Water buffalo was more tempting, right? Our property's got some...
I was just afraid we couldn't find, if we needed to, we wouldn't be able to find a buffalo bull to breed her.
So she'd be lonely little water buffalo all the way up in Alaska. We found
She would miss the cows.
Yeah, she would definitely miss having friends. So we found Blue a wonderful home. I think Blue has a new
best friend.
human best friend.
New best friend. There we go. Who has had experience with cows her whole life. Who says she's getting so much less farm work done now with Blue because she can't help
That tracks.
but to stop and cuddle her the whole time. So Blue is a happy little buffalo in a pen with donkeys and some other bottle-raised babies, nice and close to the house because everybody wanted to keep her close so they could pet her and love on her.
The whole Homesteady herd, all the ladybugs and the blues and the little Nigerian dwarfs that you've seen running around, and
The
this
sheep.
amazing quality sheep we've had, they're all going off to new homesteads. They're going to feed new families. They're going to keep the Homesteady genetics will continue. And
if you were gonna miss the guineas during the videos, don't worry. They're still
I'll
here.
put an audio clip of guineas in every Alaska video just so you don't miss that sound. We are taking a couple animals with us. We said almost all the animals are going.
few.
There are a few
Couple
who
is
are
true.
coming.
Who's going to Alaska?
Yes.
Who's going back to Alaska?
Farm Pup wouldn't be left home. He loved Alaska, right? This guy loved Alaska. He was made for Alaska. He's practically already a wolf. So he's going back to Alaska. Also, these two precious beasts are going. Bobo is getting up there. He's getting old. And after going to Alaska the first time and seeing all this ptarmigan, I thought, I gotta get this pup a ptarmigan before he crosses over into the undying hunting grounds. So we're bringing Bobo up and hopefully gonna get him a ptarmigan before his time comes. Poppy has got many years of bird hunting ahead of her, so she'll definitely be out there on the ptarmigan fields. And probably, honestly, Poppy will get pulling a sled because Poppy has way too much energy and she would love to be hooked up to a sled and pull some people around. So that would be fun. The pups and aw, the kitties. Half of our cats have already been to Alaska. And even the barn cats are gonna come because these are really nice barn cats. And Lord knows we'll need some good mousers up there. So. This is one of those weird things. I remember the day I hung all that. We were new to the farm and we were making this space our own and we were gonna do so much here, and it's one of those things like now I'm taking it off the wall and it's like, oh man. It's like a bittersweet thing because we've done so much here and we produced so much food and we did good by, you know, our raised food for our family, and we got through a pandemic and all this stuff, a lot of memories. And now we're pulling it down off to go on to our next adventure, which is exciting, but it's also a little bittersweet just thinking about all the time and effort and work that we've done here and all that. Moving on. There it is. Every tool in its place. Moving is such a emotionally taxing and mentally taxing process.
Why are you eating it?
So people can hear him crunch.
I know I shouldn't have eaten a chip just now. Because it's, you're like constantly thinking of all this stuff, right? Like there's the very practical, do I need this? Do I not need this? Do I sell this? Do I junk this? Do I, like there's just an onslaught of endless that. Meanwhile, the stupidest little random like, oh look, there's that bowl that I used to water the camels with.
I have an example. I needed something to weigh down the claw on the milking machine.
Yep.
And my dad brought me these. They're like
Heavy washers.
heavy washers. And like, oh, they were from my dad. I
Your
can't
dad
get
brought
rid
you
of
those
them.
washers.
My dad's still alive. Like
He's with us. He's in a better place now. Not this barn.
not here right now. So yeah, I'm like, I totally put him in the box to keep.
That's cute. You should. Now you have to. It's not easy. It's not easy to sell animals that you've worked with for so long, herds that you've built up. It's not easy to take down infrastructure that you spent so much blood, sweat, and tears putting up. It's not easy to walk away from a really nice farm that's been producing for your family, that you've been working on. But we are really excited about the adventures that we have in store waiting for us in Alaska. Reminds me of a quote that I heard recently. There will come a time when you believe everything is finished. That will be the beginning. If you want to follow our animals at their new beginnings, I'll have a link in the description below of this video where you can follow all the farms who've taken some of the Homesteady herd, follow our sheep, our goats, our cows in their journeys and their new beginning. And if you're wondering what's going to happen to this farm, this property that we've been at for the last 8 years, we talked about it in this recent video. Click here to watch that.